everyone. Christine here at Consensus, and I am here with some of the members of ATX DAO, sitting down with them, talking a little bit about their organization and why they are here today at Consensus. Howdy, everyone.
Thanks for having us.
What's up, guys?
Thanks for having us.
Always great to see you. Is this your first Consensus? What are your goals here today at the event?
It's funny, actually. This is technically my second Consensus, but last year, I didn't even go in the conference center. I was just prepping for our party the whole time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Are you having another party this year?
We are having another party tonight, and it'll be the best of the conference.
Oh, but you're here, so.
I'm here because we gotta do business as well. We're here for business and pleasure.
I love it. Tell us, actually, why don't we start with your names and what you do with ATX DAO?
My name is Mason Lynaugh. I am primarily responsible for marketing and events. I'm one of the co-founders of the DAO, and it's a huge passion of mine, honestly.
Excellent.
My name is Sam Padilla. I'm one of the core contributors of the DAO. Mainly do a lot of work with partnerships and also with policy. So we're working a lot on the policy front, and yeah, just happy to be here. And to your first question, my second Consensus as well. So really excited for the party tonight as well, but really excited to be here and talking to the TBC.
Love it.
Megan Murray, operations manager, so a little bit of everything and a lot of finance and accounting and all that fun stuff. So I really just support Mason and everything that the rest of the organization needs. Pretty much it. Second Consensus, but this year I'm most excited about networking. Probably won't do as many panels just because the real value is out here having conversations than in there sitting being talked at. So
That is
nothing against panels, but
no, the truth is that most people, when they come to conferences, after the first couple, you spend the whole time in the lobby, right? They talk about LobbyCon.
yeah,
You're not really here for the talk so much as getting to know one another.
Megan really keeps the DAO running. Like I really want to highlight a lot of the work that she's been doing lately. It's been really amazing. Like a lot of the things that people usually don't see in our organization, just like everyday operational things that keep the organization going. Megan has been taking them on. So thank you. Thank you. That would have been you. So thank you.
aw, I love ATX DAO. Thanks, Sam.
Well, for our listeners that don't know what a DAO is, let's take a step back. Decentralized Autonomous Organization. Tell us about ATX DAO, how you came to be, and what you focus on.
It's I mean, the start of it is pretty simple. Why ATX DAO started is just to build a community. At like the core, a DAO is just a different type of organizational structure, and it's different from what people typically see, because in a DAO, theoretically, everybody has community ownership. Everybody has equal footing. It's the flattest of the flat. And the way, like, from the beginning, you start at this completely flat level, and sure, you might be able to build a hierarchy, but it's the community that's choosing it.
Right.
And so with ATX DAO, we started it as a small group of people in Austin that were interested in crypto and blockchain, and we grew our membership over time, and we built out what we wanted the organization to be. And each member has their membership denoted by one NFT, and that NFT is one vote. So everybody in the organization has the ability to determine what that treasury is used for, and they have the ability to basically shape the organization in any way they want to.
Is it cap supply of membership?
So with
or is it NFT created every time someone new wants to join?
We do it in membership rounds. Okay. So the first round was 24 people, Genesis members. The second round was about 100, and so we did like an application process.
Okay.
And then we expanded a little bit more. We're going to do another round soon, but primarily it comes in batches, and we prepare enough NFTs, and we make sure that we vet the applicants and make sure we're cultivating a strong community.
One thing I wanna add to the history of the DAO is, or just generally to DAOs specifically, and then specific to ATX DAO. I like to describe DAOs sometimes as a mix of a civic organization with a company with a social experiment. It's really cool because we are a group of people who are working towards a specific goal, and we act like a startup in a way to reach those goals, but at the same time with the social experiment in the sense that there's nobody who's really in charge, and then things actually happen and evolve organically. So Maze was talking about the founding and the creation of ATX DAO, and it was really cool to observe how, like, ATX DAO started more as a social club, more like people getting together and talking about crypto, and it slowly, it kind of, with more people coming in, with different ideas coming in, with things happening organically, it merged into this, like, very well-structured quasi-civic dedicated organization dedicated to making Austin the crypto capital of the world. And usually the way that we tend to pitch ATX DAO is we do three main things. We do a lot of community work. So we help connect the crypto communities in Austin and in Texas. We do parties like the party that we're throwing tonight. We do a lot of innovation. So we help artists and businesses and just people in general get onboarded onto crypto. And we do a lot of policy work as well to make Texas and Austin more crypto friendly. And all of that kind of encompassing the same goal of making Austin the crypto capital of the world.
How do you articulate your goals? Because you are completely decentralized and everybody's vote is the same power. And whether you're at the 24 stage or the 100 stage or the next round, do you come together and have a brainstorm and vote on what your goals are going to be? Or is it pretty much set based on the original group?
It's all based on what the community decides to do and who steps up to organize, really. So we have monthly member meetings that we do to recognize anyone who contributed over that month, which is just a great way to get people together. And I've heard so many people who aren't super active but show up at one of those meetings and all of a sudden they say, wow, I had no idea there's so much going on and there's so much activity and so much progress being made. That's super cool. How can I get involved? And that's exactly what we want. So that's just one example, I guess, of how that just shows, like, you know, we kind of, Mason and I will handle the core things, but other than that, anyone who has an NFT is able to bring something to proposal and really just whatever they want. It's lots of cool, it's very organic. And to go back to what you said about a social experiment, that's exactly what it is, because, you know, there's really no roadmap. There's no proven success that this type of approach really works. And we have a different approach of other DAOs that are truly internet native organizations, because we have this huge real life component that we're so reliant on the success. And I think that's a big differentiator for us too, because talking about like the cohorts that we have, the member rounds allows you to come in with a group of people who are also trying to navigate and figure out at the same time, and gives us a good opportunity as an organization to try and improve on the last onboarding that we did. And so we're just constantly getting better at what that looks like and welcoming new members.
Is there models in other cities or states or countries around the world? Is this something that there's similar to your organization?
I think there are several DAOs across the world. Some DAOs have a specific peculiarities to them. Some try to be more specific to a given task or a given area. But a city DAO, meaning a DAO dedicated to a city, to making that city better via crypto, at the scale of ATX DAO, doesn't exist anywhere else. And we are the model for a lot of other city DAOs who are trying to replicate what we do in their city.
Are people reaching out to you and hearing about your work?
Yeah, we got it's like a huge long-term vision to create kind of like a city DAO network. And we have a member that's kind of really taken the torch. And he's done research and he's figured out all these DAOs across the world that are at least tangentially trying to do something that we're doing, representing a community locally, geographically bound. But yeah, we have people hitting us up, people from Dallas, Houston, Seattle,
Atlanta, Boston,
yeah, Japan, Rio, Santiago, especially for events like this. And we're really privileged to be Austin native, because Austin is kind of slowly, and in part thanks to the work of ATX DAO, becoming kind of the center of crypto in the US and in part in the world, like a really big important city for crypto in the world. And we have a lot of really important events that drive a lot of attention from all over the world. So we have South by, we have Consensus, we have Permissionless. And every time for those events, we throw like really big events to make sure that people know about us. So whenever those events happen, people from all over the world are here, and everybody's asking us, hey, how do I make ATX DAO happen in my city? Because I love what you guys are doing and we want to see this replicated somewhere else as well.
Wow. Very true to your vision of making Austin the capital of crypto and being an example. So fun. So one of the things that we're so grateful for your membership in the Texas Blockchain Council is you've really helped us, or we could say it the other way, we've helped you. We're working together on some legislation in Texas to kind of articulate the DAO structure. Can you tell our viewers a little bit about the bill that you're supporting and helped really put forth at the Texas House?
So we've been working with some really, in my opinion, some of the best legal minds on these topics in the entire world. And so we've been very fortunate to have the support from the people that you need and the expertise that you want for something that's this technical and this delicate. And what we've done is in Texas, there's a concept of an unincorporated nonprofit association. To be honest with you, I don't know where that exists or how that exists in other states. So just looking at Texas. So have taken that as basically a shell and then adapted it where it needs to for pretty much two primary reasons. One is defining things like blockchain, distributed ledger technology, smart contracts, the ability to have codified agreements recognized, and that counts as business operating code. So some of it's just very generic definitions like that. And then the rest of it is taking that UNA or unincorporated nonprofit association as a shell, adapting it for a decentralized unincorporated association or a DUA. So not exactly the DAO nomenclature that we're used to talking about in the blockchain world, but something that probably makes more sense from a legal perspective. And it really is just a much more clear framework for DAOs that are looking to organize, and talks about like what you can do with an agreement and what needs to be relied on in other, like pretty much what are the things that you can adjust and what are the things you can't. So I'm excited about it because it'll create a lot more clarity, because other DAOs that we know, some of these other organizations we've talked to, a lot of them have ended up as LLCs or 501c3s, and neither one are honestly a perfect fit for a DAO because of, it always comes down to governance. Yeah, this will be much more clear.
Well, and when Lee and I were at the Capitol the other day, after you had done your testimony, it sounded like there was a really warm reception to what you've proposed. Is that the case?
Yeah, I've been very, very surprised, to be honest with you, in a good way, about how receptive our legislators have been to understanding. I mean, Texas has a great reputation for being very pro-business and very wanting to stay ahead of other things. And I think there's a huge understanding that this isn't the first state that's had these conversations. In fact, it's the fourth or fifth at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And so how can we differentiate it and improve on what we've seen hasn't worked as well in other states?
Yeah.
And put a Texas twist on it, like keep this independence vibe going and do it a little differently than everybody else does.
Yeah.
One thing I want to mention about the entire process of getting the bill, like in the House, and getting the bill voted on and the entire process with the bill, I think this itself highlights really well how decentralized organizations are able to achieve really big goals. I think the history of how the bill came to be is very organic and is a really good example of the power of a DAO. So at the beginning, a lot of the initial research that was happening with the bill was heavily relying on two members that are not here, Brennan, and one ex-member called Michael, and me. The three of us were doing a lot of research, meeting up, and trying to come up with some initial ideas. We testified in front of a couple work groups and so on. And then life happens to people, right? Life happened to me. Life happened to Brennan. We kind of took backseat, and then organically,
You still engage though.
But it's still it's really cool to see how you can actually, even in a really big project, people can take a back seat and somebody else will pick it up kind of organically and put it their own twist and see it through. So it's really cool to see how I like to describe a DAO like a hydra sometimes. You cut a head and then two come up in the place instead.
Wow.
So you have your arms in everything and it happens very organically. And this in and of itself was a really good example of how that happened.
Well, that's what's really important about having aligned values as an organization, or a unified.
About that, what you're coming together around.
Yeah, which is Austin. And so, people are invested in the organization's success. Everyone owns a little bit of the organization. They have an attachment to it, at least as a voter. And to
the city.
Yeah, to the city. And so everyone wants to see ATX DAO succeed. Even people that aren't part of ATX DAO want to see it succeed.
Yeah.
So when there's something that people believe in, like a task or a project, it will get done. It might be someone you didn't expect, though.
And how do you spread the word? Do you have a podcast or media, or how do people hear about it?
I mean, we have social media channels.
Okay.
We throw events is kind of our main
Sounds
drive.
like it. You're the party people.
Yeah. Well, we do
Party
productive
people.
events too.
Yeah, we do galas. And
Yeah, we did our gala with Texas Blockchain Council, which was a blast, and that was a really good opportunity to kind of start building that partnership with Lee and you guys and everybody. And then we did a Web3 pitch competition with the Macomb School of Business here at UT.
innovation events in general.
Yeah.
Like those three arms are very strong and very well defined. Like community, parties, and events and meetups. Innovation, like actually trying to like do business with folks, and policy. And we do all of those pretty well. And to your point, Mace, I genuinely think ATX DAO is one of the best examples that I've seen in all of crypto of alignment of incentives. We're not aligning incentives after making money or becoming rich out of nowhere. We're aligning incentives behind this city, and this state that I guess everybody who is a member, directly a member or member of the community of ATX DAO kind of knows that we're fighting for the state, we're fighting for the city.
I love it. So tell me a little bit about membership. How does one become a member? We talked about the round, but you can press back into it. Like, what are the fees? And how does someone also step away? Because you mentioned former members. So what does that process look like?
So with membership, we're actually going to be looking to accept new members starting in May, starting the summer.
Very soon. That's
very
in
soon.
a couple days.
So actually it is.
Maybe mid-May.
Well, we'll have applications start opening up, but
Okay.
in the summer essentially. But basically it comes in waves, right? So again, like I said, there's multiple rounds, and in each round, between the round, there's a lot of work that gets done, a lot of infrastructure gets built, a lot of projects that get done, a lot of like brand development, project completion, and creating more value of the organization. Like more reason to be proud of being an ATX DAO member, more reason to be part of the community that's doing these things. And then once we feel time is right, then we okay, we have the capacity to bring on new members and treat them correctly. Like you're going to come on as a member and you're going to feel like you belong, like you feel like you're part of something that matters, because it's not free, right? Like we have a floor price that's dictated by the market. And that money is not a cheap thing necessarily. But what I like to tell people, and all the people that started it still put in equal amount of money. The money goes to the treasury, right? And so it's still kind of your money. Like anybody can do anything they want as long as the community agrees with them.
Yeah, what is done with that money?
I mean,
Does the DAO vote on it?
Yes,
Does
exactly.
it go to projects always on the spirit of helping
costs and
Austin?
yes.
Anyone
Meetups.
can make a proposal. Anyone who owns an NFT can submit a proposal, and the community votes on it, and we decide how to use it.
I got to tell you about the mural. The mural's like the perfect example of this.
Okay.
So there's a guy named Jeff Mattel who in the open channel on Discord, not the members only one, just the general channel, he posted a paper he wrote about a mural that he wants to create a mural and turn it into an NFT. And I was like, this is an awesome idea. You should join ATX DAO and we can do this. He joined, he started the project, he ran some meetings, he connected a bunch of people, we got the ball rolling, life happens, but people picked up the torch and finished the mural. And it was up for a year. We worked with a local art charity, Hope Campaign, to fundraise for artists. And it was a great example of kind of
and we
what you
turned
can
it
do.
into the 3D NFT.
Yeah.
So there was this Web3 spin on it, but allowing the artist to retain his medium, which was putting paint on a giant wall and making it look cool. So that was a cool way to bridge everything together too.
That is so special. And if someone doesn't catch you on this round, is there liquidity event, so to speak? Like if someone has a life experience come up and they have this tokenized membership, can they sell it to their friend, or do you do a call for one membership spot, or they have to wait till the next round?
We've had 3 sales, I believe, 3 or 4 people that have sold their NFTs. Typically, it's to another member of the community, so we're able to, I guess, broker the deal essentially.
Okay.
Because people communicate that they want to leave. It's a tight-knit community. We've all met each other.
Yeah.
So if someone's like, oh, it's not for me, I'm moving, or oh, it's not for me, I need the money. I don't have the time.
In one case, we had a woman who had to leave for life circumstances, and she was very clear about wanting it to go to another woman because she wanted to continue diversity. So that was appreciated,
And we're also trying to implement something that we've talked about before. We just haven't gone through the process. Is having a treasury buyback process in which hopefully at one point in the future, if you wanted to sell your NFT, you could sell it back to the treasury at fair price.
And it'd be just available in case someone else came along.
Yeah.
And it sounds like you have a wider community than just your DAO, because you're doing all these events. So you have people to pull from, or you might know people that might be interested. Tell me about strategic partnerships. Do you have partnerships with others?
Well, TBC has been really helpful. You guys have been the best. Without you guys' help, your support has been phenomenal in helping
drowning
us
in policy.
sure.
Like we understand crypto really well, but policy is, at least up until now, was like a really big question mark for us. So working with you, working with Lee has been, amazing.
Capital Factory is another great partner. They've really stepped up to offer us their resources, their spaces. When we spun up, I guess it was a year and a half ago, I met with them and they totally got the vision and they wanted to be a part of it. And so they've been a fantastic partner as well.
That is so great to hear. Do you have your meetings there at Capital Factory?
We have like community meetups there. Yeah.
We also have ongoing sponsors that we've worked with in the past, like for pretty much the big flagship events, but the sponsors we've had so far have been ranging from everything from like a happy hour, just something small, to something real big like the party we have tonight. We've also been fortunate to have repeat sponsors as well. And so that got us thinking about how can we continue this sponsorship beyond just the, hey, thanks for the money, we had a great event, bye, which feels very transactional. So creating an ongoing relationship with that. So rolling out this concept of a partner program. So ATX DAO partner program being a different type of membership that's available to corporate partners of some kind, and really being able to tailor that membership to what they want. So for example, one partner might really just be looking to spread their awareness and want a bunch of marketing.
Yep.
Another one might be wanting to get in front of devs, so maybe we can host like a workshop or some kind of hackathon for them and being able to customize things. So we're really excited about that. That's something, once we get through this whole membership round and come up for air a little bit, we're excited about rolling that out this year too.
How long will the membership round go? So you start in May, mid-May, and it will go how long?
So we'll have applications open for a month or so, and then we'll do like a review process, and then we'll let people in and throw a big members-only party.
Excellent. The party people.
It's part of the bread and butter.
Work hard, play hard, you know?
Business and pleasure.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, have fun at your party tonight. Hopefully I'll be able to drop in, and thank you so much for being one of our members and just the inspiration that you are. It's a new world. It's a new way of, it's bringing decentralization to, well, not only business structure, because it's quasi, right, but just relations in general. And what's one thing, before we close off, what's one thing you might want to communicate to our listeners who maybe this is the first time they're learning about DAOs or your organization? You have any parting words?
Yeah, I think one of the things that is starting to be really exciting for the entire community is how do we go about expanding ATX DAO to other cities, to other communities, and what Maze mentioned, right? Like the really long-term vision that we have of a global network of city DAOs and having like partnerships with different cities in which every member of every city DAO has special benefits in every city that they travel to and so on. So yeah, definitely if there's any interest out there from folks in Austin or in the Texas area, definitely come talk to us. They'll learn how to get involved with ATX DAO, making Austin and Texas a better place. But even in other places as well, yeah, reach out to us. We'll be really excited to try to push that vision forward, because we definitely think that if we could replicate what we're doing here in Austin in several other cities across the world, I think the global adoption of crypto and the benefits that crypto can bring to the people can be significantly accelerated. So definitely I guess for me, those are my parting words for whoever is watching.
It's good for me.
Yeehaw.
Right on.
Excellent. Well, thank y'all. And we'll see you at the party tonight. And can't wait.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. We had a great time here at Consensus. At the Texas Blockchain Council, we are striving to be the nexus between traditional industries, banking, finance, legal, energy, and the digital asset industry. So we want to help you get your brand in front of those kinds of companies with B2B opportunities. Reach out to us if that's of interest for membership or for sponsorship at the summit. Hope to see you there in November in Fort Worth. Thanks again. We look forward to seeing you at the summit.